Welcome back to another video here in northern Portugal. This week I returned home from a short visit to the UK, happy to find that the external installation had been started. After seeing what had been achieved in a couple of days, I felt that I made the right decision to hire some guys to do it. If you'd seen my previous video, you would have seen my attempt at this, and I'm fairly sure you would agree. It turned out that our existing walls were fairly uneven, so more mortar had to be added to glue the boards evenly to the walls than was expected. This meant that the distance from the existing wall to the final finished level had increased, a distance that I originally estimated when I 3D printed the window bracket. Simply put, it meant that the brackets were too short. They needed to be spaced away from the existing wall to line with the new face of the insulation boards. We came up with a solution. By using the leftover pipework cut to the size required, I could create spaces that would push the brackets off the wall without compromising their strength and keep costs down. This meant that I had to cut out the polystyrene to reveal each bracket, measure the distance to be made up, remove the 4 screws holding the bracket, cut 4 bits of pipe to the correct size and replace the bracket, and each window had 4 brackets, so I had to do this a total of 32 times. I just put the first one back in, the first bracket that is, with the spacers, and everything lines up well. The only thing is I need to buy longer screws because obviously I've added 20mm, and I'll reuse the screws that I will have to take out of each bracket somewhere else. And if they don't work this time, well, I might scrap the whole idea completely. At this time of the year, the garden is exploding with growth, and if left for a few days, the grass and weeds can easily grow to reach my waist. At the moment, I've been using the strimmer to control the growth, but in future, I'm definitely going to buy a lawnmower. But before I do that, I need to clear some of the tree stumps and roots that cover the garden from old vines and trees that used to be there. The number of times I've tripped up over them is laughable, but reminds me that if I did use a mower, the blade would easily be damaged by them. Removing the roots isn't an easy job, so it keeps being pushed back, but hopefully I'll get around to it later this year. around 1 o'clock when you want to sit outside and have lunch, the sofa is in full sunlight, so we're moving it over to this area where there are loads of these old, I say old, they're stones. All of these rocks and stones are in the way, so I'm rolling them out of the way so I can get some pallets in between these two trees and then put the sofa and chairs there. This area stays in shade because there's good cover from the olive tree above. And then in the future I'm hoping that there'll be more of a permanent thing here at the back of the house. I'm not sure why all of these rocks are here. Maybe when they built this retaining wall over there, they used these big rocks, and these are just leftovers. But they're pretty heavy. I'm using this strap. I'm not sure if it's actually helping, but apparently this is 2,000 kilos worth of strength, so should be more than enough. Today is the first day in a while when the temperature hasn't been that high during the day, so I'm going to take the opportunity to go and clear out the water tank that we filled up last year. We emptied over the winter, and it's just got full of stuff basically, so we're going to clear that out and try and work out how we can install the pump properly this year. It's not actually as bad as I thought it would be. I think because we've had some hot weather, sort of dried everything up. Before it was like a sludgy pond, but most of the water's evaporated now or drained away, which makes things easier because I was dreading doing this after it started raining, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. I had a look at it after the rain and it just looked horrible, but thankfully it's dried out, so it should be a lot easier to clean. Hang on, that's my soil. Last year I ran a pipe all the way up the garden up to this tap, and this leaked a lot. What I'm going to do is do the same thing, check where the leaks are, and then buy some more parts if needed, or see if I can fix the parts or see what's going wrong. I think they were tight enough, but maybe they weren't. Maybe we have to use some PTFE tape. We'll find out, let's see. Oh no, I've messed up big time. It's all a big tangle. Air coming through first. Ah, perfect. So the pressure washer didn't work for some reason. there was power going to the unit, but the on switch didn't turn it on. So I've used the hose and just the standard like attachment on the end, and that's not really powerful enough. Might have shown you this before. This is the edge of the water tank and this is the outlet. So when you turn that threaded wheel, it closes the seal so it prevents water leaving. And then I think this pipe here goes to the well, and then this pipe over here was the water goes to the pump, or the old pump that's not there anymore, and used to pump water out from the well and into the tank. The tank would then reach a certain point and overflow, and the overflow is just up here. You can't see it, might be off camera. And then water would fall out of that and then into this sort of trough area where it would then go back into the well. So it's a sort of circular recirculation system. And that in theory is meant to prevent algae and other stuff growing, because the water is obviously moving. And it's replenished even if it is with the same water, but at the moment there seems to be some sort of blockage in this pipe. I've tried to use this bit of pipe to unblock it, but it seems to do nothing. I've even got my arm in there. Let's give it another go. Yeah, there's some sort of blockage about a meter, or at least it starts about a meter down. Not sure how I'm going to unblock it. I've got an idea actually. I've got another bit of old pipe. This one's a bit longer and a bit thicker. No. Always teases you when you think you've unblocked it. You see a bit of water flow. Just when you think you've unblocked it, the water flows back very slowly into the pipe and you think you've unblocked it, and then it stops. But on that occasion, it actually flowed through, so I think I've unblocked it, or at least moved the blockage a bit further down. But what I'm going to do now to test it is turn the tap on inside the tank, let it come out, and then go over to the well and see if I can hear water entering the well. I doubt we've got much water in there, but I'd really like to use it if I can. Maybe not for drinking, but if we can water the garden with it, that would be pretty cool. So maybe that pipe doesn't go into the well, or maybe it's what I really need to do is open it up, but it's one of those things you don't really want to do on your own, not just because it is quite heavy and requires at least 2 people, but you don't want to be out here on your own, make a mistake, fall in the well and then be stuck down there. There's a little gap here and I've got a stone. I'm going to throw it down, see if I can hear anything. I heard a splash, so there's definitely water down there.